Good morning. So this reading is for Friday, October 11th. And what I'm doing here is pulling a little bit about our past. Two more, past energy. Tell me about current energy. That's an interesting combination of cards. Let's see. Two more on future energy. One more. There is definitely an inner battle happening here. You're doing a lot of work. You're doing a lot of reflection and accountability, kind of going through scenarios in your mind to figure out what do you need to do. Not necessarily where did you go wrong in the past, because you made the decisions that you made. There's no reason to go back and harp on any of that, but it's more of how do I make sure I don't fall into the same trap going forward? And I'm getting that phrase, fall into the same trap. Looking here, bottom of the deck, that is the Nine of Cups. I know it's my Halloween deck, so it may not be that easy to see here, but those are all pumpkins, and I've got light kind of in the way because the cards are glossy. So sorry about that. But the Nine of Cups is about going after everything that you want emotionally. It is your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, all of these things that you really want to make a reality. And it's coming from a place of emotional need. These are definitely things that tap into your heart. And so when I look at the past energy here, I am getting the Lovers, Three of Swords, Ace of Swords. You've been doing a lot of work on yourself, a lot of healing when it comes to your heart. So the message that I'm getting right now, it feels like you did block yourself off for a period of time, and blocking yourself off emotionally could be in any area of your life. It doesn't have to necessarily be love and romance, but the Lovers is here, so it might be applicable there in your life. But what I'm really getting from this energy is that something wasn't going the way that you wanted it to. And so you really emotionally disconnected. It took a little bit longer to mentally disconnect and recognize that this was just not the right thing for you. And the minute that you recognize something wasn't right for you, you kind of, I don't want to say you spiraled into a heartbreak kind of situation, but it was almost like these emotions kind of came flooding out of you, or kind of came to the surface in order for you to address them. And the Ace of Swords, the clarity is there. You know exactly what bothers you, what didn't work about the situation, what maybe you would do different going forward. That part of it where you're trying to figure out, how do I make this different going forward, does still feel like a little bit of a TBD, where you're trying to figure it all out. But the clarity, it's coming. It does feel like things are opening up for you. And when I look at the current energy here, I am getting the Devil, Nine of Wands, and the Empress. So the Devil's the one that made me kind of do a double take on this one. So the Devil's been showing up off and on. We do have Pluto in the sign of Capricorn for now. It moves back into Aquarius next month. This Devil energy, this is about limitations and restrictions, things that have held you back in the past. Nine of Wands, this is what caused you to have your guard up. This is what caused you to be emotionally disconnected from something here in the past, or just not be fully open like you would have wanted to be. The Empress energy, you are transforming through this. You recognize where these limitations and restrictions have held you back. What needs to change here? What do you need to do? This Empress energy, there's no judgment connected to the transformation. It's all about, okay, well, I'm learning my lessons from this, and I'm going to kind of raise my own vibration going forward, and saying, just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen to me again in the future. But it's up to me to not kind of box myself in and really restrict myself and say, okay, well, because I was hurt in the past, I'm never going to get hurt again, and then really box yourself in. That's what you're kind of coming out of. That's what you're maybe starting to really become aware of. And with that Empress, that's the transformation. So that's Venus energy, with an emphasis here on what you love, what you value, all of those things. And so when I look at the future energy here, I am getting the Ten of Swords, Temperance, and the Queen of Wands. So, Ten of Swords, I mean, this is the end of a painful cycle. This is also mentally disconnecting from the pain in the past. Temperance energy, love to see the temperance energy showing up because it is about all things in moderation. It is about finding that inner balance and really kind of that yin yang. Okay, well, I can't go from one extreme to the other. So, how do I find this moderation, this happy midpoint where I can transform and I can be open and available, but also at the same time recognize what did lead to heartbreak in the past and maybe how do I prevent that or see the warning signs sooner, address it sooner. And with that Queen of Wands, what you're learning throughout this entire process is the action that you need to take in order to have things come out differently. Because that Devil is also about unhealthy patterns, and patterns will repeat themselves because you haven't identified the pattern or figured out a way to break free from it. That Queen of Wands tells me that you are figuring it out. You are kind of separating yourself from that pattern. And that is really, really positive here. It does feel like now that we're in this kind of last month-ish of Pluto being in the sign of Capricorn, and then that's it. It won't be in Capricorn again in our lifetime. This is the time to really identify what has held you back. I want to say self-sabotage, but it's more along the lines of where you were very guarded and you held yourself back. And where can you change that, go forward? How do you make that modification? How do you see it sooner? So let's get some additional details here. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to take all. Actually, they apply to all. There we go. That was interesting. They don't usually come out like that. So with the Lovers, I'm getting the Devil energy. So when it came to your heart and your emotional well-being, really putting yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable. And again, that can be in any situation. It is a Lovers, so probably more romance than anything else. This is where you really kind of started guarding your heart. You started putting up walls, created these restrictions, not letting anybody in. Three of Swords, Emperor energy. There's a lot of fire showing up here with that Temperance. And now with this Emperor energy. So the Emperor is the god of war. It's Mars. And so this is about my way or the highway. And what you're doing here, or what you did in the past, was you took some sort of action to get yourself out of that situation where you started to say, okay, well, I need to heal myself. I need to be able to let go of the situation in order to be able to move forward. And that's really what the healing is. It's about not letting something just have its hold on you anymore, where if you can look back at a situation and not feel any emotion connected to it at all anymore, then you've disconnected. That's the healing that you've been working on. With the Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, exactly, this is what you've been learning. That Knight of Pentacles is a student, somebody who's constantly gathering information. With that Ace of Swords, figuring out what are my next steps, really taking everything in. You knew that you needed to take some sort of action here to free yourself up, open yourself up emotionally in order to have what exactly you want in the future. And it's all coming out. You started this journey definitely in the past. This is not new energy. Tell me about the Devil. And the Empress. This is interesting because we have the Emperor and the Empress energy out here. So this is definitely raising your own vibration. I'm not picking up another person. What I'm really picking up is your energy and just you taking control of a situation here. Clarifying the Devil is the Empress. The Empress is out here twice in current energy. So this is a lot of harmony and balance, bringing things together, breaking down those barriers here. What's really eye-opening is that these decks are actually from the same person. And when you look at them, the Devil is a dark figure with a light background, and the Empress is a light figure with a dark background. You're literally turning your circumstances around. That's what you're doing here. Look at the inversion. You're pulling yourself right out of that energy. With the Nine of Wands, King of Cups. So learning where it makes sense to put your guard up, or maybe not entertain things, as opposed to kind of being fully open and available. I mean, this is really kind of going back to, how do you identify those red flags sooner? How do you identify a situation that could lead to heartbreak? What do you do to cut that off? Maybe it's have a conversation so it doesn't lead to there. Or if you don't feel like that's a situation that needs to continue, cutting it off. That's kind of where you are right now. It's identifying those scenarios. That King of Cups is a very emotionally mature person. And that's exactly what you're doing. You are evolving as a person. You are raising your vibration. And with the Empress, I'm getting the Six of Pentacles. And so during this entire transformation, you are getting to a place where you are more generous, more open, and available to whatever is coming towards you. Because I'm definitely getting a sense that in the past you were closed off, probably more closed off than you realized. And your eyes are opening up to just how much you've been held back in the past, really because you were afraid of going through something very similar, getting hurt again. Temperance. With the Ten of Swords, I'm getting the Four of Wands. What you're doing here is opening yourself up. The Four of Wands, it's a marriage card. You could be dealing in a romantic situation and dealing from some sort of heartache in the past and really trying to open yourself emotionally so that you can have the type of relationship you want going forward. I do have the Lovers there in the past. I'm looking at the Four of Wands here in the future. This is the marriage ceremony card in tarot. It is a reason to celebrate. And so the Ten of Swords, the closing of this cycle, is a reason to celebrate. Putting the past behind you, really mentally disconnecting. This is completely detaching from whatever hurt you in the past. Looking at the Temperance, I'm getting the Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles, again, thinking about the foundation of who you are, temperance, that inner kind of balance that you're looking for. This is being very grounded, very practical, living in the moment, recognizing that not everything is within your control, but your reaction is definitely within your control. And that's what you're learning. It's, okay, well, if you don't like something, say something. If something just isn't going the way that you want it to, or you want it to go in a specific direction, you can just say it. You have nothing to lose by voicing what you want and what you think should happen here. With the Queen of Wands, I'm going to want to caveat that because as soon as I said it, I'm like, I'm not sure that really came across correctly. So voicing what you want, as long as you're coming from a very balanced, grounded place. When you say something from a healed or just a very kind of balanced energy, things aren't going to come off negative or positive. They're not going to come off with that kind of lens. You're not looking to belittle another person or really put somebody else here in a bad light. It's not about any kind of manipulation or control. It's about you just speaking your mind and what you need. And that's what this energy feels like. That Four of Pentacles, Temperance, is about you finding a way to express yourself and stay in that kind of moderate energy. With the Queen of Wands, I'm getting the Ace of Pentacles here. So all the actions that you're taking, the Ace of Pentacles, it's been showing up constantly. It is setting yourself up here for some sort of long-term success. Now, if this is about love and romance, this would be the start of a commitment, getting yourself ready for that, or even entering into this type, making this type of offer to another person. All of those things are really embodied here in that Ace of Pentacles energy. But it is really positive momentum going forward because it is a new beginning. It's a new chapter that's unfolding here. So this is the reading for Friday. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.